Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, July 18th to Saturday, July 24th. So a little bit of a recap on what took place last week. We had Mercury, the ruler of the mental plane, ruling over information, ruling over how it is we bring that information in, form new ways of thinking, and of course, honor us and encourage us to express ourselves. We had Venus and Mars, the masculine and feminine divine energies of the cosmos, come together in a great conjunction that really helped us birth a brand new reality. We are bringing new elements into life, brand new chapters, brand new cycles, and we are still kind of learning on what that's going to mean for us moving forward. Chiron, the wounded healer planetoid, went retrograde, joining all of those major heavy-hitting planets already retrograde, which is going to take us on a very intense healing journey in order for us to heal some of those wounds, to pack up some of that trauma, to drop off some of that emotional baggage that we are no longer willing to carry. We had our first quarter moon in Libra, really triggering a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger. Why? Because we are pressurized. We reached a tension point. We reached the first set of challenges and obstacles in bringing our new realities to life, and that was very unsettling. However, it created a beautiful illumination on where things are a little bit out of whack, where we had to regain our balance, where it is we have to seek stability, and of course, finding peace and harmony within the chaos. So this week we have a jam-packed cosmic week ahead. Why? Well, we are wrapping up the final days of Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure and worth and money and long-term commitments, moving out of that fiery, carefree, passionate, very, very bold energy of Leo, and getting a little bit back down to earth, getting things organized, really rolling up her sleeves, getting ready to take action and make things happen when she moves into Virgo. We are also wrapping up Cancer season. I'm going to warn you, this is going to be the last push. I know a lot of us are exhausted, especially emotionally exhausted. We don't know that we can take any more. And I'm going to tell you, the volume gets turned all the way up on our feels. We are going to have to break down before we break through. And that breakthrough is going to be a beautiful thing because we are moving into Leo season. Turn the fire up, turn the passion up, turn the excitement up. This is time where we really take life by the horns and we start making things happen. However, we have to get through a full moon first. This full moon in Aquarius taking place the day after the sun moves into Leo is the first of two back-to-back full moons in Aquarius. That's really going to open up a chapter that we're going to want to close rather quickly. However, we will not see that ending, that closure, until late into August. So with all of that being said, let's jump into this week and let's see what this week's energy has in store. Before I jump into the Ascension symptoms for the week, I really do feel the need to take a minute and to thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing and subscribing. I have reached a very pivotal point here in my YouTube channel. If you are tuning in from YouTube, I want to thank you for being here. And because of that, I want to give you guys an opportunity to give me some feedback. I want your input. I know you guys have been definitely encouraging me to rant a little bit more. And because I'm kind of limited in the time that I have for these energy forecasts, I'm thinking about creating, individual episodes, really zooming in on topics that you guys want to talk about, that you guys want to hear about, that you guys want to learn about. So I'm going to ask you and encourage you to drop me a note below. Let me know what it is you want to talk about, what it is you want me to explore. There's been a lot of questions about my personal background, my personal healing journey, but at the same time, my journey has led me to really discover a lot of, mysterious, mystic knowledge. So whether that be dream interpretation or energy healing or channeling from other realms, basically, if you want to know what's going on in the world, if you want to know why we're here, what it is that we're doing here, where the lessons are, where soul contracts lie, All of that goodness, I want you to drop a comment below. I want you to tell me what it is you want to talk about. And I'm going to be using your comments in order to lead the charge into new episodes that are based around what it is that you, my community, my people, want to hear about, want to learn about, and want to talk about. So I'm looking forward to what it is that you guys really want to suggest and throw my way, because I'm in the mood to rant. So give me some direction and give me a reason to rant for good purposes. I'm looking forward to seeing where it is that you're all at in your journeys, what it is, what topics are on your mind, what it is that you are on a quest for in your own healing journey. So make sure you drop me a note below and we will open up that conversation in episodes to come. So, Ascension symptoms. One thing we have to keep in mind here is the week that we're going into. So like I had previously mentioned, Cancer season is coming to an end. And I'm going to tell you, this week, the moon is definitely the star of this soap opera that we have been exploring. And if you'll remember, Luna, the lunar goddess herself, the moon, is the ruler over Cancer season. So this means that we're going to get double whammied here with emotion, with the focus on the family, on the boundaries, especially the new boundaries that we're looking to implement, looking to enforce. We definitely are rising to the occasion, having certain situations emerge for us to walk the walk and talk the talk, and really set a new guideline on how it is that we're going to allow other people to treat us in our realms. So with that being said, Cancer season and the moon being very active, we have to kind of suggest that digestion issues are going to continue. Now, I know we've been talking about cravings and just this, empty, bottomless pit that we've been feeding. Hopefully, you are choosing to feed it with, substances of life force, vegetables and fruits and what have you. However, when there is a huge need within our physical bodies and in our light bodies in order to ground, we tend to kind of crave the sweeter creature comforts in life, the junk food, the not so nice stuff in our bodies. Let me tell you, we are going through a refinement phase this week. And if your body is not receiving the kind of life force nutrients that it needs, the energy that it needs, it will be loud and clear that it is no longer willing to accept what it is that you are putting in it. Now, that could mean that whatever you put in is coming right back out, which is a very unpleasant ascension symptom. We could also consider the fact that once it's in there, it's not so happy. Could really lead to nausea, could really lead to upset stomach, and it could come out just as fast as you put it in. So we want to make sure that we are eating to nurture ourselves. We want to make sure that our light bodies are as light as possible, which means moving away from the heavier foods, from the processed foods, from the toxic foods that take so much energy for our physical forms to actually digest. Now, because Venus is on the move here this week, she is going to be wrapping up her life lessons, her definite tough love life lessons, while in Leo and jumping into Virgo. So here's the thing. She's been a little bit fancy free in Leo. She's been following her heart. She is following her passions, her new desires. She has let her hair down. She is being a little bit more playful. She really threw caution to the wind. And as we experienced last week, we went from a full, warm and fuzzy heart to complete and utter void, to emptiness, to sadness, to grief, and then back again. Now, this week, we are going to feel rapid beats in our heart, especially as she wraps up her life lessons in Leo. And we are going to go from full to empty a couple of more times just to be sure that what it is that we have been passionate about, that we have aligned our sights, our head, our soul with, that it's still as exciting. It's still carries meaning and purpose for us. And so there's going to be a lot of triggers. And when I say the word trigger, I want you to keep very close attention to the fact that Chiron, the wounded healer planetoid, is now retrograde, and he is triggering us in order to unpack our emotional trauma. Okay, it doesn't feel good. This is definitely connected to our pain identity, our ego wounds, if you will, taking us back to childhood situations where it is that we learn certain patterns and behaviors, and really revisiting a lot of our adult relationships that have mimicked the pain trauma that we accumulated as children. And because of that, there's a lot of weight on our heart space. Now, Venus, when she moves into Virgo, we are going to feel a little bit weighted. We're going to get a little bit more serious. We're going to feel the weight of our responsibilities kind of, definitely intensify. What I want to say to you is that this week, as we kind of wrap up one cycle and we're preparing to jump into another, there's going to be a huge urgency to act on passion, to act on desire, and to act out on rage and anger. And may I remind you that emotions are simply energy in motion. How we choose to align our mental plane with our heart space is how that energy is going to manifest. But with these ascension symptoms, with these triggers, we have to expect that our heart chakras are going through a deep refinement stage, being triggered so that we can kind of see and feel what it is we need to heal. We purge that, we release that in order to create a space for all the good feels to actually take over. And essentially us kind of lay down that emotional baggage that we've been carrying for far too long. Now, Mercury is going to help us this week really shift our perspective, along with Uranus as well. We have to keep in mind we're building towards a full moon in Aquarius, which Uranus actually rules over. So this is both the lower and higher octaves of our intellect, of our mental planes. There is going to be a huge pressure on our third eye, meaning you could have watery eyes, eye spasms, sinus pressure. There's a lot of dizziness that's going to come with this week because we are shifting perspectives. Mercury is still very much in Cancer, kind of having the main focus on our homes, on our family dynamics, on the boundaries that we need to implement. And there's a lot of intuitive feelings coming up that we have to sort through in our mental planes. There's a lot of memories coming up, flashes from our past, good, bad, and otherwise, that we have to process now with a higher observing perspective. And that is that Uranian energy, that Aquarian energy coming in that higher octave where it is that we connect with the divine intelligence, where we connect with the higher cosmos, and where we really act as the observer, seeing what's going on, how everything connects, how our past is very rooted in our present moment, and how we have to process that information in the present in order to make a change, to align with the bigger, grander goals and visions and dreams that we have for ourselves in the future. Now, there's going to be some weird sensations in our ears. So many of us are used to getting those high-pitched, kind of ringing sensations in our ears. That kind of signals the downloads, the information, the light codes that we're receiving from the higher realms. However, this week, it's almost as if we have water in our ears. We have popping, we have clicking. There's a muffledness taking place. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to run with it. There's a muffledness taking place as if we are listening to our exterior realms underwater. When you dip your head underwater, you can still kind of hear what's going on outside there on land in the surface, but everything's kind of muffled. It seems very distorted. I want you to pay attention to what side of your body this is taking place in, left or right. That's a huge indicator where it is that you are having trouble really processing your new reality, the new information coming in, what it is that you are trying to kind of distort and muffle because you're not ready for your awareness, your consciousness to actually take in that information for what it is. We still want to stick in a little bit of imaginary land. We're still holding on for potential and for hope for things being what it is that we would want them to be, not necessarily for what it is that it actually is. And that is why we're having some distortion in our hearing. Now, with that being said, we do have Mars, again, in Leo, fired up, ready to go. He rules our action. He rules our passion. He rules our desires. He wants to move forward. He is on the battlefield, swinging with his sword, ready to cut through blocks, challenges, and obstacles that we face. And let me tell you, his inner warrior is jacked up. Not only is Mars in Leo all the way volume turned up, but we have Chiron and Eris, the female version of Mars, all in Aryan energy. They're very close in orb, and this is a huge burst of energy. Now, how we're going to use that energy is up to us. It can be passion and excitement, or it can be anger and frustration. Regardless, we have a little bit of ants in our pants here. We're restless. We can feel energy surges coming throughout our body. We want to move, and we want to move a lot quicker than what it is that we're given permission to move by the universe right now. And that in itself can just tick us off. We can feel our blood boil, especially in the moments that we are triggered in anger, in aggression. And again, all of that is being triggered in order for us to feel what it is that we have to heal. I talked about Uranus being a factor this week, mostly because of the full moon taking place in Aquarius. And this is going to have a huge focus on our central nervous system. This is nervousness. This is anxiety. This is physical shaking in our physical forms because the energy is getting turned all the way up. I want you to pay attention to where you're feeling tremors, where you're feeling spasms, where you're feeling this energy build up in your body, if it's one area over the other, or whether it is your whole complete system at the same time. This is going to bring more dizziness into the mental plane. This is going to bring a lot of very not favorable sensations into our body. But may I remind you that lightning, the electricity that comes in from Uranian energy, from Aquarian energy, helps us break up the old stagnant energy and clears a path for the brand new energy, the brand new information, the brand new light codes to enter in with a lot more ease and a lot more grace. I also want to just advise you that euphoria is going to still be on the top of the list. Why? Because our imagination, our dream state, is definitely overlapping in our reality. We're working very hard to integrate those new aha moments, those new dreams, those new realizations into our physical realm. Last week, we gave birth to a brand new cycle, brand new ideas, brand new relationships, brand new emotions. This week, we're starting to see, holy shit, this is actually real life. Wow, we actually did this. We brought it to life. We're in the first stages of things, and I can't believe that this is real. It's very, very euphoric. So in the physical body, I want you to pay attention to your bones, to where it is that you're tired. Most likely in the lower extremities, we're going to have a lot of calf issues, spasms, tiredness. We want to pay attention to our joints, where they're cracking, where they're clicking, where we're kind of feeling a little bit rigid. I will tell you, it's likely going to be one side of the hip over the other, one thigh over the other, one kneecap, one ankle, one leg over the other that is experiencing a little bit more tension, a little bit more heaviness, a little bit more rigidity than the other. All of this gives us super significant clues on where it is that the energy is having a hard time realigning in our body and what it is that we can do to fix it. A lot of the times we talk about these ascension symptoms and it's just like, again, when are they ever going to end? Well, the truth of the matter is we're in training right now. We've been in training for many, many moons. Why? Because the Earth woke up in 2012. She decided that she wanted to live. She decided she wanted to fight back. She decided that there was enough light workers here in this realm in order to wake her up, to raise the vibration of the collective so that we can fight back. Against the evil forces that are trying to put us into submission. So, the frequency of the earth, she's been raising her pulse, she's been raising her heartbeat. How do we know this? We watch the Schumann Resonance. The energy, the electromagnetic frequencies coming into the earth from the cosmos, especially from the solar flares, the solar blasts, are training us. They're getting us used to these higher frequencies, higher vibrations, because there's a great solar flash that we're going to experience over the next couple of years. And let me tell you, those that have chosen to stay in lower vibrations and lower frequencies, they are not going to be able to ascend in the way that us, all of you tuning in right now, experiencing these ascension symptoms, that you're going to be able to adapt, ascend, enlighten, and anchor in the new vibrations and new frequencies that essentially new earth is being built upon. So I know it's hard to hear all of these, very uncomfortable situations taking place. Another week of, headaches and pressure and weird sensations and exhaustion and tiredness and nausea. I get it. But guess what? You're a spiritual warrior. You signed up for this. This is literally in your soul contract. And although, yes, we are human, we are mortals, we do have a tendency to kind of complain. It's okay. Take a day, take a break, but then put your big girl panties on, suck it up, and get out there and stand in the uncomfortableness of receiving these light codes, of receiving these ascension symptoms, and know that you are strong enough to take it. And not only are you strong enough to take it, you are strong enough to transmute all of the negative energies, vibrations, and frequencies into something beautiful. So just when you don't think that you can take it anymore, you have to remind yourself of who it is that you are. And you are a powerful light being who signed up to be on earth right now to experience the Great Awakening in order for us to come together and shift this earth into a brand new place where we are all unified in what it is that we want to see happen, which is more love, which is more kindness, which is more respect for each other, for Mother Earth. And in this process, we have to face the shadow. We have to face the darker lies, deceptions, delusions, corruption. And we're definitely seeing that on the global grand stage right now. And I'm almost positive you are seeing this in your own individual lives as well. It's part of the plan. It's part of the mission. And guess what? I have 100% faith that you have exactly what it takes in order to get through this and in order to be the champions that we signed up to be. So with that being said, let's break it down. What does each day this week have in store?